How would you help an established company move from a change management mindset to true transformation? In this session, I will share my experience as an internal consultant on my work for just that question. I'll introduce the model that I've developed, some implementation and practice insights, and extend an invitation. But first, let's talk a little bit about the company. The company, let's call them Voltaire, is one of the oldest and largest construction companies in the United States. It's traditional, it's risk averse, it's darn good at what it does. Yet Voltaire's leadership has recognized that in order to adapt and thrive in the coming decades, innovation is something that they need to master within the next 5 years. I have been asked to help with that effort. In my initial talks with the Innovation Committee, I noticed that everything was coming from this place of visible organizational culture change. Thinking about Shine's model. You do the things, you put the strategies in place, you put the goals and metrics in place, you pull the team together, you put the posters on the wall, you do the communications, and now you get the change. Except as we continued to talk, it became clear that what Voltaire was really seeking was transformation. They wanted to cultivate an innovation ecosystem where employee creativity and ideas could thrive and fuel an innovation effort. And for that type of transformation, we're talking about going through a deeper journey that explores the invisible organizational culture so that we can emerge transformed on the other side. It's not usually a journey that companies willingly jump into. So the question for us was, do we gloss over that deep work that we know is necessary to prime the soil of the ecosystem? Or do we take Voltaire through this process and help them emerge transformed for innovation? The resulting model is an affirmation of the value of going through that process instead of glossing it over. It's a path to partner engagement for innovation, and we call it the TUAI Bridges Model of facilitating organizational transition. It's comprised of 3 different parts. On one level, it's containing a deep respect for the psychospiritual journey that we know people experience when they face change in an organization. Now, this is coming from the Bridges transition model for managing change in an organization. We understand that to neglect and ignore that psychospiritual journey, it all but guarantees that your change effort's going to fail. So how do we hold this in the proper place for our effort? We turn to Sharma's theory here. We elevate leader consciousness and mindset through opening of the mind to see without judgment, the heart, so that we can truly learn and listen and connect, and the will to step out of our comfort zones and take appropriate action to facilitate transformation. And these two coming together create a container. Here, let me jump to the next one, in which rests the 4D model from Cooper Ryder et al.'s Appreciative Inquiry process. So we've got the psychospiritual being held in an elevated consciousness container of the leaders. And within that container is supported a transformation engine where Voltaire's employees come together to discover what's working well with innovation, dream what could be possible, design what it could look like, try out those solutions, learn from them, iterate, and with each iteration, we cultivate a more robust ecosystem within the company. I pitched this model to Voltaire's leadership and received unanimous support and backing for its implementation, including from organizational development leaders, which was really cool. So we put together a year 1 process, taking the TUAI Bridges model and parsing it out into what are the actions, what are the events, what are the outcomes, the milestones, the metrics, and then pulling that together into a possible year 1 implementation process that honors the journey for theory U the journey for Appreciative Inquiry and continues to hold that psychospiritual journey at the center of what it does. That turned out to me that what we're really doing this first year is cultivating the root system of the ecosystem. We're connecting with people one point at a time, one project at a time. And if you look at the image on the left, that's what that root system looked like in 2020 when we started this work. Today, the image on the right tells a completely different story. It is spiraling out, it is evolving, it is healthy and robust, and it's going into areas that we hadn't previously anticipated. So if you are thinking about playing with this model, here are 3 things to keep in mind. Number 1, because this is such a personal experience, cultivate your own qualities of being and embody them, not just in your interactions, but within the processes that you bring to the table. Taking things from a process-heavy approach and transforming them into things that are more person-centered and are honoring the psychospiritual journey that folks are experiencing when faced with, requests to become something new and different. Number 2, not everybody is going to be in the same place as you on this journey, and that's okay. Our responsibility is to be mindful and compassionate and aware and be that wise steward, that wise guide to help partners wherever they are in this journey and help them safely navigate to the other side where transformation emerges. Number 3, this type of process is not something you just go and explain, this is what you're going to be doing to your partners. Let them simply experience it. In my world, I tend to talk about come for the food and stay for the pie. That's my personal philosophy for this. I invite people to come in and work with me or team with me. They're coming for the food of the business solutions and results that they need to achieve their goals. They stay for the yummy, delicious pie of how those experiences make them feel. And it feeds their passion, it feeds their souls, and people come back for more. And we're already seeing that happen within Voltaire. TUAI Bridges is being requested to be incorporated by leaders of other change efforts within the organization because they see the results and they love how it feels. So what do you see with all of this? Please let me know in the Q&A. I thank you for your attention and look forward to speaking with you soon.